Here are my top comic picks for this week's new comic book day, December 6th, 2023. I didn't actually have enough time to create this week's own specific video, so this is basically the clipped out version from my longer video that had all of December books. But if you watched that and you don't really, I don't know, this one just might help get this information out in front of you. I've seen other big people just kind of clip other videos that they have. Probably helps them save time on creating content. But I don't always like to do that with this because it changes week to week and things like that. So it would be easy if I could just, create one monthly one and then have it be clipped all throughout. But again, it changes so much, it wouldn't be accurate, and I don't want to do that to you guys. So, click like, watch the video, comment, subscribe, and without further ado, let's get started. And kicking things off for the first week of December, December 6th, 2023, is X-Men number 29. This is the first team appearance of Dr. Doom's team of mutants. Next up is The Sentry number 1. And this one is going to be a 4-issue limited series that may or may not introduce a new Sentry. But apparently it's from various people who are manifesting the dead hero's powers. And if any of you know what happened to the Sentry in King in Black, that's probably what they're referencing here as far as him being dead. And I remember reading that and I just went, whoa, what was that? Next up is Thunderbolts number 1. And this one, Bucky Barnes, aka The Revolution, goes on to lead a new Thunderbolts team. But after that is Shazam in the new Dawn of DC. This is Shazam number 6, the first appearance of Shazam-Mite, who is the cousin of Bat-Mite. Now, I did want to let you know that there was, I think, Nightwing 87 or 88, I think it was 87, had the first appearance of Nightmite. And that did pretty well in the secondary market. But this is Shazam, and I don't think he's as big of a character as Nightwing. So I don't know if it'll do as well, or just the market's completely different now than it was then, so it might not do anything at all. But just something to note that the Mite did do decently when it was a Nightmite. Next up, as far as Spec goes, is Titans Beast World Tour Metropolis number 1. And this one is where Power Girl becomes Flamebird, which you can see on this cover here. And next up is just, a personal pick of mine, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin, reissue number 5. And as I say each time I talk about this, I saw something say that these are being re-released as comic book size. Again, I haven't seen them in real life in the reprint, so if someone out there in the comments knows if these are just reprints or if they do actually get reprinted in comic book size, if you let me know, that would be awesome. But let's move along, and we have the first ratio of the list, and that is the 1/100 Disney 100 X-Men number 1 black and white homage variant on the cover of The Amazing Spider-Man number 39. After that is another cover by for me. This is Star Wars number 41, the John Tyler Christopher action figure variant, with Qui-Gon Jinn on the cover with his sweet Tatooine poncho. Next, I don't know how I feel about this one. It's either gonna bomb or it could be one of those sneaky ones that does weirdly well. The Avengers number 8 1/100 Insignia Virgin variant. One thing you do have to be careful for is with it being all mostly black, is any type of color break is going to be super easy to see. It's going to stand out right away. So it'll be really hard to get a higher grade quality book, raw book. So just something to keep an eye out for. Next up is, I love these action figure variants. So it's going to be Disney Villains, Cruella de Vil, #1. And there's no real spec value on it. I just like these action figure variants, and I think this one's pretty cool. Next up is one of my favorites to put on any list, really, and it's a second printing, 1 for $25, of the Sensational She-Hulk #1. I know there's not much to She-Hulk or whatever, but this is a #1, or it is a second printing, and it is a 1 for $25. So just that alone, it deserves to be on the list. Speaking of second printings, we have the spine-tingling Spider-Man #1, and this is the first appearance of the Sleep Stealer, but this is the second print. And it looks like it might be a sideways cover, so that's pretty cool. Next up is actually going to be a few covers from the same book in a row, and these are all second prints, but it's Something's Killing the Children, pen and ink #1. So there's a foil variant, again second print. This is the second print cover A, and then the second print cover B, Spot UV design variant, which could be pretty cool. Next up, we have a couple facsimiles, and we have Batman #404, and this one is the origin of Batman. We got the classic story of Year 1, Part 1, Batman's parents being shot outside the theater, and Batman becomes Batman. Next up, we have Batman #5 facsimile, and I don't know how much value this one really is going to have, but it's obviously a #5 of the first print would be insanely expensive just because of how old it would be. But as far as a reprint goes, because of the value of this, it's a $7 book, and the special thing about this book is that it's as far as the Batmobile goes, it's the Golden Age Batmobile that has the Bathead design. So I don't think there's really much more to it than that. So if you're a diehard Batman fan, or you just think it'd be really cool to own, this book with this cover, $7 might be worth it for you. For me personally, it's not, but to each their own, right? And next up is another facsimile, Adventure Comics #260, and this one is actually the first appearance of, or not the first appearance, I'm sorry, it is the origin of Aquaman in the Silver Age. And then lastly, for this week of December 6th, 5th for DC, 2023, we're looking at Star Wars The High Republic Adventures #1. And there's not really much spec out there currently about this book, but it is a #1, and it's kicking off Phase 3 of the Star Wars High Republic Adventures. It is written by Dark Horse, so it's a little bit better than the Marvel stuff. So I think if you like High Republic, you're probably going to be a little bit more excited for this one coming from Dark Horse. And that's my list for comic book releases coming out the first week of December. December 5th for DC and anything from Lunar, and December 6th from pretty much everybody else. Guys, that's my top comic picks for this week's New Comic Book Day, December 6th, 2023. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope, even though it was a replay from a previous video, that you still found it informational and helpful for the decisions you want to make this week. Don't forget to click that thumbs up button to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this video. And let me know what you thought about me having had to clip it. Maybe you didn't mind. The other one. Maybe it's a refresher. I don't know. Well, hopefully you liked it. And I'll leave a couple other videos here. Actually, I'll put the one where you can see the whole video for all of December here. And then I'll probably put one of my shorts or something. thanks again for checking out the whole video. And until